What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about the top 5 most common mistakes to avoid at all costs in hotshot trucking, either as an owner-operator, a driver, or a business owner. Now make sure you stick around to the end for a bonus point that is personally my biggest mistake that I made starting out. Number 1, don't try to hide damage. And on the same hand, don't claim it on your insurance. If you scratch something, just go in, be honest with them, explain to them the situation, and say, how much is this going to cost me? I don't want to claim it on my insurance. 9 times out of 10, they're going to work with you. And they would much rather just get quick cash, get it paid for, than to have to go through the process themselves anyways. If you try to hide it, they will find it. And when they find it later, it's going to be a whole lot worse because you're not there. It's not a person, it's not a face-to-face personal thing. It's a business against another business. So they're going to go after your insurance company for everything that they can. And one small claim could double your insurance rates. Number 2, any money that you can put away for a maintenance fund, you'll be glad you did later. Generally, it's 25% of whatever you make, you put in a maintenance fund. Most people starting out really can't do that. Hopefully, you're starting out with some type of cushion as far as funds in case something goes wrong. But if not, put away whatever you can. You'll be glad you did, even if it's just the money for that first oil change. That is another one that I learned the hard way. I did not stack away money in a maintenance fund, so when something went wrong, I was stuck thinking, oh boy, what do I do now? So I was luckily able to figure it out, but it would have been a lot easier had I been putting money away all along. Number 3, come up with a realistic income goal of what you need to make every week after expenses to be able to make this as much like a regular job as possible. So you're going to work every day. You know how much money you need to make every week. Anything else is a bonus. Make it as close to a regular job as you can. That way your income can be as predictable as possible. You're not going to get it down perfect because rates change, fuel prices change, the loads available change. Number 4, don't be afraid to request more money if there's a low-paying load going somewhere that you already want to go. So in other words, make location your priority, not rate. 9 times out of 10, something that pays really, really well is probably going to a dead zone, and that broker knows that. Now, at the same time, don't get greedy if something already pays above average. If something already pays pretty good and you try and ask for more money, 9 times out of 10, they know that it pays above average, and they're just going to ignore you, especially if you're sending a text message. If you're calling them, they're probably going to say, oh, I got to check with my customer, and then you're never going to hear from them again. If something pays above average, generally, I'll just do it. I don't ask for a ton more money if it's going somewhere that I'm already going. Number 5, if you're starting out on your own and not leasing on under somebody else, brand new company, start small and focus on customer service. You never know if those deals that you're doing with people can turn into a long-term business relationship. Most of them don't because the load board is cheaper and people care about price more than service. But there are a few out there that care a lot more about good service than they do. They're willing to pay the little bit extra money. Now, to go along with that, I always say never brag about being the boss or the company owner. That way you can always reserve the right to say that you're not allowed to do something or my boss won't let me do that. Rather than just being like, yeah, I am the boss, but no, I'm not doing that. But don't come right out and lie to them and say, oh, no, I'm not the boss, this isn't my company, because you never know if that customer has potential to become one of those direct customers later on. Now, For the bonus, that is actually something that I really had to learn the hard way. And to me, out of everything, it's the most important. When you're making payments on equipment, be extremely conscious of how fast you're racking up miles in relation to how fast you're paying off the equipment. You don't want to end up with a $20,000 paperweight. Something somebody told me once that really stuck with me is you're not upside down on your truck. Your truck has more than paid for itself. That truck has made you hundreds of thousands of dollars. You just chose to spend that money on other things rather than pay the truck off, which can loop right back around into a maintenance fund, because if you start getting up higher in miles, reliability goes down and you're really going to need that maintenance fund. So that's it, guys. I've got the 5+1 top mistakes to avoid when you're starting out in hotshot trucking. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for bearing with my bad camera skills. Stay tuned for the next one. Stay safe.